Hello, my name is Robert Hollis. I want to thank you very much for tuning into my Periscope today. The title today is My Failures and Mistakes. You know what? As I thought about this, I didn't even put on a flower shirt. I just put on black shirt. It's like, ooh, failure, mistakes, right? And so thank you very much for getting on this Periscope. I love the hearts. You can tap on the screen to give hearts. Make sure that you scroll up or scroll sideways, depending on the phone you have, and share it with your followers, your Twitter followers, your Facebook followers. Now, I used to be an auto mechanic and got hurt and put on workman's comp. I'm going to talk about that mistake. And what ended up happening is I got introduced to some mentors. And after I got introduced to them, I'm telling you, I make $2-3 million a year in residual income. I've taught a lot of people how to do the same, which is really fun. And now I am the life mechanic. So I used to be a broke auto mechanic with a bad attitude and worried about being a victim, blaming everything, and now I'm a person that takes personal responsibility for every decision in my life, and I'm a life mechanic, and you can check me out at lifemechanic.com. Go underneath the blogs, and then also, I might as well throw this in there, is I do a show 6 days a week of, just allowing people to get on a Google Hangout and ask me anything. So I started doing an Ask Me Anything show. I've done quite a few of them, but I don't promote that enough, and you can go to lifemechanic.com, click on the Ask Me Anything, and you can come on there. So thank you very much, Scott Kloster. So here we go. Title for this is My Failures, My Mistakes. Now, the one thing I want each and every one of you to know is when I was preparing for this, in my time of reflection and meditation and prayer, this came to me and it hit me hard, right? And I sat there and I thought, you know what? I'm going to go on Google. We all know that Google, right? You can find everything on Google. And so I went into Google and I put in there and I said, people that made mistakes. People that have never made mistakes. People that have never made mistakes. That's what I Googled. And it didn't come up with anything. Now, I know that each and every one of you, I hope, get a laugh out of that. But that's the way I think. I'm a geek from the dork forest. I want to make decisions. You know what I mean? Hey, Jesus made a mistake. Jesus made a mistake. He trusted the wrong people. So anyway, we'll leave that for a different subject. He might have known everything, but hey, he set it up that way. So anyway, Jesus didn't believed in the wrong people. Ended up not doing very well for him, okay? So anyway, one of the things is that, when you're talking about mistakes and stuff, I just want to say to you some really interesting things, right? So first of all, how many people have not made any mistakes? How many people haven't failed? When you really, really think about that, we all have that in common. We all have that in common. So if I could go all the way back to memorying, my memory, young memory, it's amazing, all the mistakes that I made, all the things that I thought, and listen to me when I say this, that I thought that I knew for a fact. I remember getting arguments about them. I remember actually getting in fights about them. I used to not be such a nice guy. And I would know exactly, I knew that I was right enough to fight for it. And find out later I was wrong. So you could either put that as a failure or a mistake. And when I got a little older and I started, maybe failing a test at school or making a mistake, and actually, hurting my car. I did a lot of stuff where, I had a motorcycle when I was young. Made some mistakes and hurt myself and the motorcycle by making some, as Bill Clinton would call it, some bad judgment call. It's funny that I think that every one of us knows people and ourselves has made some incredible failures and mistakes. And all of a sudden, when I sit there and I think about the stuff that I did and, getting, tickets, with my car. And I know some of you are perfect. There's some people that are going to watch this video and, while you're giving me hearts and tapping on the screen, make sure you share this with all the perfect people, so they can see that Robert Hollis is happy as I am, as well as I'm doing, as financially well as I'm doing, and all the stuff that I have, I'm still failing. I'm still failing every day. So I just thought I'd give you a few other ones, we're pretty colossal ones. Really colossal ones, right? So, for some of you that know my book, how is that working? I got in with the wrong crowd. I was hanging around with the wrong people, and I got in a lot of trouble, and that was mistakes. And, you really know when you make mistakes because, there's like the authorities of the world out there, the police and the FBI and in my situation, what is it? ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. the A, alcohol, It's like, you make mistakes and guess what? You get punished for it. You know what I mean? So there's some people out there that, when you start making mistakes and failures, you get really, really punished for that, right? And then in high school, you guys are going to be blown away with these mistakes. I actually, dated a few girls in high school. And all of a sudden one day they just turned around and said, "Hey, listen, Bobby." Yeah, my name is Bobby, and it's like, "Listen, Bobby, I don't want to date you anymore. I don't want anything to do with you anymore." Can you imagine that? I know some of you just cannot imagine that someone wouldn't want to be in a relationship with me. And it's like, wow, and then all of a sudden, I get married. I get married right out of high school, man. and all of a sudden my wife at the time, comes up to me. That's where Robert Hollis Jr., that's our son. And all of a sudden, guess what? She comes home and says, "I don't want to be married to you anymore." And I said, "You're not taking my kid." And then she goes, I don't want him." And it's like, so I've had a failed marriage. Wow. I was really scared, believe it or not, to share each and every one of you this video. No, I wasn't. I did a video a couple of days ago on lifemechanic.com/blog. You know what I mean? And it's all about what people think. You know what I mean? So a lot of people, I had Flora on my Ask Me Anything show today. And it's funny. She just come on here. And a lot of us will not, listen to me, we will not try. We will not do something because not only are we scared and worried about what other people are going to think, but guess which is the best way not to make any mistakes or failures? It's simple. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. So one of the things that I did in preparation of getting on this scope is I thought, man, I think about all the areas of my life. You know what I mean? There's financials, huge mistakes in my financial life. I mean, crazy mistakes. I had failures and mistakes in my personal life. I've had failures and mistakes in my belief system. As I grew up in my life, there were certain things that I thought on a spiritual level that were just flat out insane. I'm telling you, insane. Now, I know that each and every one of you are going to go through your own trials and tribulations, and some of you might not think that you've ever made a mistake or ever failed. But, the best way not to make a mistake, the best way not to have any failure is to do nothing. To do nothing. And so you're going to hear a lot of these phrases out there that are just incredible. I'll talk to you on this one, and I'll go back to my failures and my mistakes, right? But Richard Branson, he's a multi-billionaire. You know him underneath the Virgin brand. So his biggest one right now is Virgin Galactica, right? And this is a way for people to be able to pay a few $100,000 and go into outer space, right? Did you know that Richard Branson was smart enough to put together a prize for a bunch of people that failed? No, they did attempts to try to get into outer space, then come back, and you had to do it twice within a certain amount of time. Well, Richard Branson was, with wisdom, I'll tell you a statement in a minute, he waited till the team won, and then he went up to the team and said, listen, I'd like to sponsor you and give you some more money to make your project better. And I'll be your partner. I'll finance it. We'll call it Virgin Galactic, right? So anyway, one time someone went up to Richard Branson and they said to him, what is the key to success? What is the number one key to success? And he said, wisdom. Wisdom. Without a shadow of a doubt. For those of you that love spirituality, there's a saying out there that when King Solomon was asked if he could have anything in the world, he said, I would love to have wisdom. Wisdom. And again, God said to him, because you asked for wisdom, you get to have everything. You know what I mean? So I pray for wisdom every day. I pray for wisdom all the time. So then the guy says, well, where does wisdom come from? And he goes, from making mistakes. So here's a billionaire. So I got a little homework for you guys. I normally don't give people homework. If you go to Google, you can put in failure. Just put in failure. And you also can put in failure quotes. Failure quotes. Me, I love clicking on the little boxes in the upper right-hand corner. And if you click on those boxes, there's one that says images. And you can click on images and put in failure quotes and look at all the images from Churchill, from, Bill Gates to Jordan to virtually everybody having a failure statement. You see what I mean? I think Mark Twain, or it was, Einstein, that said, if you don't fail and make mistakes, that means you're not trying. That means that you're not doing anything. So let me go back to me now. So now all of a sudden, there's not a doubt, when you guys hear about, I had failed marriages, I've had, bankruptcy, I'll talk about that in a second. When I got hurt on the job, even though I got workman's comp, it was 100% my fault. It was my fault. I made a split decision to basically hold up this van that was falling off a hoist. I made the split decision to do that, and it hurt me. It hurt me really, really bad. Messed up my leg. Now I got to go to the, get surgery, 2 surgeries, on my knee. One of the unique things about that is that it stopped me from just doing what I thought that I should be doing, an auto mechanic, being a crew chief. And when I had someone tell me that, that all of a sudden I couldn't do that, that's when my mind opened up enough to look at different things. In fact, I remember the person that gave me workman's comp told me that I needed to continue to get workman's comp money, $900 a month, while I was injured, that I needed to at least pick a different career. Listen closely. A different career that I could educate myself on and learn from, because it was obvious I couldn't be a mechanic anymore. You know what I mean? And so you look at everything that happens, and now what you get to hear is basically your attitude. It's a blessing in disguise. You see what I mean? Everything happens for a reason. See, you get these people that understand that failures and mistakes are just stuff that happens every day. And so, yeah, then all of a sudden I get into network marketing, 29 years ago. Man, I'm getting old. And then all of a sudden that company, after I've been with them, it makes a decision to go in a different direction. And I decided to go with my mentor, and his company got shut down. So I went with my mentor, Bill Gould, Equinox International, and then the Federal Trade Commission shut his company down. Now, I can blame Bill. I can blame the Federal Trade Commission. I could blame the people that shut him down. Listen, why? I made a mistake. I did it. And here's something for those of you that have made a lot of failures and mistakes like me. Here's something that can really help you out. See, I believe that whether you're a spiritual person or not, I am. I believe that God knows my heart. I believe that God knows my heart. And so a lot of things that I've made mistakes in, a lot of things that I've made failures in, which are endless to count, is most of the time, not all the time, but a majority of the time, my heart was in the right place. My heart was in the right place. It didn't make it right, but my heart was in the right place. I thought I was making the right decision based on the knowledge and the wisdom and sometimes the emotions that I had at the time. And all you could do is do. All you could do is your best. And I've made decisions and got involved in things, and all of a sudden it didn't turn out right. When people hear that I've been in 17 companies, it's like, to me, it's like, it's a learning thing. You either learn from every experience or you don't. I would rather learn from them. You know what I mean? And so I got in a company called ACN, and, all of a sudden, long distance was free. So they got involved in the gas and electricity industry, and one of the contracts with California was signed with a company called Enron. Do you know that Enron is one of the largest failures in history? The banking industry. All of a sudden Enron loses their contracts. I got millions, listen to me, millions of customers on electricity and natural gas, and none of them saved any money. None of them. And so the customers didn't save any money. A lot of the customers didn't get turned on. And all the affiliates and reps that I had, none of them got paid. What do you do? What do you do? Lisa Grossman, she gets the credit for this statement, and I think you guys are going to love it. Is every day we are either a prophet, and what I mean prophet is where we're telling people a story. We're doing everything that we're doing based on the people, on what they tell us, right? So I've been involved in companies where I believed the owners of the companies. I believed the visionaries of the companies. I really, truly believed them. And so I'm out there telling a story based on what they told me. Now, if the story comes true, you look like a prophet. You're a genius. You got incredible wisdom. You're like a superstar. Everything is working awesome when everything is working right. On the other hand, if the things that people tell you then do not come true, they do not come true. The promises that they made do not come true. The person makes a different decision, goes a different way. Then guess what? It makes you a liar. Now, here's my question to each and every one of you that have never made any failures or mistakes. And I think that most of the people that are giving me hearts and making comments, you're going, hey, listen, I make mistakes. Is that, when all of a sudden you find out that what you've been telling people is not true, and you made a mistake, you made a mistake, or you failed at something. Guess what? What's the next step? What honestly is the next step? Because believe it or not, there's different levels of grief that you can go through. You know what I mean? So a lot of people might be so emotional in a decision, especially if it was a relationship, and that failed. And maybe you did something that ended up hurting you or ended up hurting somebody else. You know what I mean? Then guess what? Now you got to deal with that kind of grief too. And it's like, I know what everybody does. First, we're all in shock. Then after you're in shock, then what you do is you blame everybody. Isn't it funny? I know people that blame God, blame everybody. Everyone's blaming. You know what I mean? Blaming. And then you get mad. Now it's like, I'm going to sue everybody. I'm going to take those people to their knees. They're not messing with me. It's the principle. I'm going to hurt them back. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hurt them back. That's what I'm going to do. And then all of a sudden it's like, wow, then you go into the personal thing. Now, you know what? I'm an idiot. You always hear when people have breakups in relationships, I'm a fool. I'm an idiot. I can't believe I believed them. I just can't fathom how dumb I was. You know what I mean? So now it goes from all that stuff, and now you're blaming you, right? And here's the sad part before I move on. Every one of these levels of people in their mistakes and their failures, they either focus on it, they dwell on it, they make it bigger. And, people stay in different levels of regret and guilt and beating themselves up. Beat themselves up all day, every day. Beat themselves up all day, every day. Always telling the old DVD story. Well, I messed up here and you don't know what I did and I had a bad marriage and I got in a car accident and woe is me and, it was, General Motors' fault. It was this driver's fault. And it's like, okay. And then there's people that have to take the next step. That's personal responsibility. I don't know why it happened. Jim Rohn says this best. I really love Jim Rohn because Jim Rohn said a statement, you know what? Some things are just mysteries. Some things are just mysteries. I wouldn't take that class. So you look back and it's like, why do we have to have this knowledge? Well, I don't know how I made that mistake. I don't know how I made that failure. That sure in the heck couldn't have been my fault. That had to be somebody else's fault. You know what I mean? Maybe I didn't know enough. Maybe my family was all messed up. Maybe this was messed up. Maybe someone lied to me. And it's like, come on. All right. So here's the deal. You got to forgive and forget. And who should you forgive and forget? You. Stop beating up on you. Please. Say out loud, I forgive you. I forgive you. When you forgive yourself, you don't have to condone what you did. But can you stop beating the hell out of each other? Can you stop beating the hell out of you? Thank you, John Milton. That's awesome. Yeah, forgive yourself, Scott. It's like, it's amazing to me. And again, my mentor helped me with this one. So, all of a sudden I'm talking to my mentor and I said, hey, Bill, listen, I got a question for you. And he got up and got right in my face. And he said, Robert, will you stop asking me? Stop asking me how you can get better. Can you give yourself some frickin' credit for doing anything? Can you stop beating yourself up? He says, I can't help you. You're too busy beating the hell out of yourself. You won't give yourself credit for anything. Forget that crap. See, some of you, and I'm coming from my heart here, some of you that are spiritual, Christians, maybe other beliefs, and you pray and you ask God or a higher power for forgiveness. God, please forgive me. Please forgive me in the name of Jesus Christ. Once you ask for forgiveness, you got it. Stop bringing it up. Some of you, if you pray, every time you're praying, you're asking for forgiveness for the same stupid mistake and failure that you made. If you could have a personal conversation with the higher power, they would say, what mistake? What failure? Oh, you come on, you know what I did. You know what I did. Yeah. That wasn't very good. I lied, or, I stole some stuff. I cheated. You know what I mean? I hurt somebody. I'm not a good person. I'm not a good person. And they're going, I don't remember what you're talking about. Oh, let me bring it up to you in detail. You know that one time? Yeah, when I did this. And it's like, listen, you asked for forgiveness for that. I forgave you. Can you give it up now? Can you move on to today? Can you start right now and become the person that you know I created you to be? Please? Please. All right. And then the next thing you pray, hey, please forgive me for that. If there's people that you've hurt in your life, the way that you go out and do good is by putting things on the other side of the scale. So now you just keep doing it. It's like why I've gone from company to company to company is I just do my best. I figure out whether I'm a prophet or a liar. And when I don't feel like I'm in the right place at the right time, I got to move on. Now, to some people in the world, because I don't care what other people think, I made a huge mistake. And to other people, good job, Robert. See, I would suggest that you surround yourself by people that love you, that support you, that are always going, hey, listen, you know what? Go do your best. Go do what you can do. Forget and move on. So, when you always hear about all these quotes out there, and I seen one of my favorite here, and I'm going to click on it because it's Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? And if you haven't seen this one, you got to see it. He says, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 300 games where his teammates trusted him with all his wisdom and all his expertise to make the bucket, and he didn't make the bucket. See, it's crazy to have mistakes and failures where the whole world gets to know. Some of my failures have been written up on the front page of the newspaper. And my home city of like 8,000 people. You know what I mean? Nowadays, you make a mistake, you have a failure, the whole internet world knows about it. You better get over, worrying about what other people think, all right? It says 26 times I've been trusted to take the winning shot and missed. I failed over and over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeeded. So when you guys look at everything out there, and guess what? I've trusted people. I've gotten in partnerships with people, and they weren't good. They ended up, so I think I don't mind saying this. I think it was 2001. It was 2001 is that everything got so bad with my company that I had to file corporate bankruptcy. And isn't it amazing that you see people right now that I didn't file personal bankruptcy, but right now you see people with Donald Trump and hey, didn't you file bankruptcy? Yeah, I use the laws of this land. It even says in the scripture that every 7 years, you're supposed to forgive your debtors. Is there people that are watching this video right now where people have owed you money for over 7 years? It says forgive, forget, move on. No, that guy still owes me money. It's like, wow. So you're a Christian, so you believe in biblical stuff, but you just want to leave out that one? Come on. People deserve to be forgiven. People need seconds and thirds and fourth chances. Thank God, literally, thank God I got someone that believes in me. Where I can try and try and try again. Ruin my credit, got bankruptcy on there, can't do nothing, and then guess what? Cleaned up my credit. Built cash. Become a millionaire again. It's amazing, walk into a brand new Rolls-Royce dealership, say I want that special one, and they go, okay. See, they forgive me. Why? Because I had cash. I had credit. I had cash flow. So you go in there and another search I'd like you to do, homework. I want you to think of somebody like a Mark Cuban or a Steve Jobs or a Bill Gates. And you can go in there and you put biggest failure. You know what I mean? Mark Cuban's biggest failure. Or Bill Gates' biggest failure. How about Martha Stewart? Made a little mistake. Yeah, made a little mistake. Securities Exchange Commission got a little mad at her, threw her in prison. All right. She's still a billionaire. She came back, went back to work. Are there people that say, well, she's a convicted felon? I'm sure there is. But there's a lot of people that buy Martha Stewart stuff all the time. She's still showing up on all the shows. She's got a large fan, so some people make mistakes. All right? So how about a current mistake? So I'm trying to think in what area. Of course, you guys that are following me, you know that I've made mistakes in everything. And I'm always doing my best. My common goal is always to do my very, very best. And it's funny because I recently had a company called Unlimited Profits, right? And here is my simple thought. Think about this. My simple thought with Unlimited Profits is if I put together the best compensation plan I could possibly do. I mean, the compensation plan was paying out 90%, sometimes 95%. And here was my simple philosophy and goal. Here it is. If I give away over 90% of the compensation plan to people, then I would attract people that want to change their lives financially. And with 100 paying members, I got to pay 10 grand a month. I got money. That's okay. With 200 members, I got to pay $5,000 a month. You know what I mean? If we got to 300 members, it's getting close to breaking even. If we went to 500 members, I don't have to put any money in. If we go to 1,000 paying members, I'm finally making money. If it goes to 2,000 members, I'm like now replacing my income with other cash flows. That was a thought. And everybody went, Robert, you can't keep doing this. You can't keep doing this. You can't keep throwing money into this company. You can't do it. And I said, listen, I have faith in people. I have faith in people. I believe that it will work. I'm going to do this. And guess what? A lot of really close friends of mine went, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And I go, why wouldn't it work? And they go, people are not motivated by money. If people were motivated by money, everyone would be financially set. They're not motivated by money. And I'm going, I'm going to do it anyway. So 5 years, I put millions of dollars into this company and did my very, very best and financed it. Put myself in a financial situation where I have to get rid of the home in California, move back to our home in Montana, cut all my living expenses to nothing, man. Just really narrow it down. And I'm going to pull this off. I'm going to pull this off. And it took all my savings. It took all my cash flow. I'm a failure. I've failed. I made a mistake. Now, what am I going to do? Oh my God, what am I going to do? I know what I could do. I could blame people. You know what I mean? Let me blame all the people that didn't see my business. Let me blame the whole world for not getting involved in my company. Wow, these guys are just, these ladies and men, they're just stupid. They're just stupid. They can't see it. I had people tell me that I was way ahead of my time. This digital education stuff that's growing $7 trillion. People don't get it yet. I'm going to try anyway. I made a mistake. I'm a failure. So I can blame them. That ain't going to work. So I blame everybody that never got involved with unlimited profits and never did anything. Yeah, now my business is profitable. Not. Okay, second thing. I'm going to blame everyone in the company. Man, if I had an opportunity like this, I would go to work. I'd make 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month. If I was in my own company, man, I would do it. I got to blame all the people. You know who else I got to blame? I got to blame Matthew, my son, and Robert Hollis Jr. because I'm telling you. No, the camera didn't freeze. So, no, I'm not going to blame them. I can blame Bill Ebert. You know what I mean? Partner. I can blame the technology. I can blame the internet. I can blame the websites. I can blame everything. No, that ain't going to work. Let me see. So what do I got to do? I got to do something. I know what. How about I take personal responsibility? So it's my fault. See, I'm the one that made the decisions. I'm the one that stayed in as long as I could. I'm the one that bet it all. I was the one that went all in. It's my fault. And when you say, hey, it's my fault, I did it, blame me. Now people go, whoa, he took personal responsibility. Okay, so now what? Let me see, do I go back and get a job? No. I'm not going to get a job. Second thing, maybe I should go build another opportunity. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that too. 3, what's your vision again? What do you want to do? I know. What? I fell in love with Jim Rohn's idea. I want my name to be mentioned. I want my name in people's written stories. I want my name in people's success stories. Is that what you love? More than anything. It's my passion. It's my love. It's my vision. I love training people. I love sharing them the wisdom from all my mistakes. I love sharing with them all the stuff I've learned from all my failures. That's what I got to do. I got to figure out how to do this right. I got to do it again. Wow. So just like every other successful person on the planet, mess up, make mistakes, do it again. Mess up, failure, make a mistake, do it again. Mess up, make a mistake, failure, do it again. So I want you to hear this as I close out this Periscope. You're looking at a person, Robert Hollis, that's going to do his very, very best to make more mistakes and more failures. I will figure this out. Just like Albert Einstein said, I will figure out, Thomas Edison, I will figure out the 10,000, the 100,000 ways that helping people doesn't work. Because every time I don't figure out how people won't go to work, how they are stuck, how they're not motivated, how to be able to get them to be inspired again, how to get them to believe in themselves, how to get past those icky and ugly feelings, how to stop procrastinating. See, every time I keep trying, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure this out. Robert Hollis, am going to figure this out. I'm going to go down in history as being one of the individuals that figured it out. How to get those people that gave up. How to get those people that are not motivated, how to get those people that are in comfort zones, how to get those people that are people pleasers and worried about what people think, people that are know-it-alls. I'm going to do my very, very best. People that have tried company after company after company after company after company and really haven't got it. People that just, don't believe in themselves anymore, or fell out of love with themselves, or never ever learned to love themselves. I'm not going to give up. And so since I know I'm not going to give up, that means I'm going to make more mistakes. I'm going to make more failures. But just like the statement that I posted today, I know for a fact, because I believe and have faith, that it doesn't make a difference how many times I fail and how many mistakes that I have, because I only have to get it right one more time. I got to get it right one more time. So I hope that this helped each and every one of you. I don't mind saying that I'm a failure and I make mistakes. I don't mind saying that I continue to do. And I do, and I do. Are there going to be people around me that are going to be mad at me for making mistakes? Always. Always. That's why I did the people, worrying about what people think. Oh, there's going to be people mad at me. I seen a post today. Mark Zuckerberg, I said I was going to stop. One more statement. Mark Zuckerberg just had a baby girl named Max. And he said, you know what? I'm going to give away $34 billion. That's what I'm going to do. I'm moved. I'm inspired. I'm going to give away all this money. And I seen a post today on a guy's website. Did you guys hear that Mark Zuckerberg donated all his money to a charity so he wouldn't have to pay taxes? God forgive them, for they not know what they do. You guys are always going to hear me say before the 30-30-30 rule. 30% of the people don't have a flippin' clue what's going on in the world, and they don't care to know. There's another third that is, no matter what you do in your life, they're there to beat you down. They're there to tell you you're not going to make it. You're a failure. You make mistakes. You've had failed marriages. You've made mistakes where you hurt your health. You made mistakes where you hurt your relationships. You've made mistakes where you don't get along great with your friends and family. So what? It's like their job is to constantly remind you of all the failures and mistakes that you made in your life. Yeah, you become who you hang around. You got to stop hanging around those people. Then you hang around people like me that are telling you, like, forgive yourself, stop beating yourself up, stop asking forgiveness for stuff that's already been forgiven. So what, you made mistakes? So what, you made failures? Start to learn to love, to learn to make mistakes and failures and move on. You learn good to talk to people. You look good by doing periscopes, by doing and doing and doing. I think this is like my 106th show. I'm going to make mistakes. I don't care. I don't care. I've learned to love myself. I know my Creator loves me. I got this core group of people that just love me like crazy. That's enough. And I will make mistakes and failures until I figure it out. And then when I figure it out, I'll probably make mistakes and failures. So I hope each and every one of you got something out of this. Learn to love yourself. Give yourself a break. You're awesome. Put your arm up in the air and reach back and pat yourself on the back and say, you know what? Good job. Good job. Look in the mirror and just say, you know what? I'm going to get better. I'm going to get gooder and gooder every day in every way. Learn to do, affirmations towards yourselves. You know what I mean? It's like, just do it. Just do it. You deserve to be the best person that you can be. Don't worry about making mistakes and failures. Every successful, happy person that did incredible things makes mistakes. Look it up. Google it. So we'll see you guys on the next Periscope. I probably might give myself a break tomorrow on Sunday, spend some time with family, but you never know. I might do one anyway. So anyway, check out lifemechanic.com. I do a Ask Me Anything show 6 days a week. 3 of them at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time and 3 of them at 2 o'clock. So I'm here to help you very much so. Thank you very much. God bless each and every one of you. Have a blessed weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Love you very much. Thanks for the hearts. Bye-bye.